The mountain and the river. The old monk sat by the river, watching the water flow by. The river was wide and the current was swift, rushing past large boulders along its banks. A young monk came by and bowed to the old monk. "Master, why do you sit and watch the river each day?" he asked. The old monk smiled. "I do it to clear my mind and gain perspective. The river teaches me many lessons every day." The young monk looked puzzled. What lessons could the river possibly teach? The old monk replied, "Come. Sit with me and observe the river. Tell me what you see." The young monk sat down next to the old monk. At first he noticed little, just the water flowing by as it always did. But after a few minutes, he began to observe more closely. He saw leaves floating along the surface, spinning and tumbling over each other. He noticed a fish darting in and out of the shadows of the rocks. He saw a bird swoop down, grab a fish in its talons, and fly off into the trees. The more he observed, the more the young monk saw how much activity and life there was around the river. But the water continued flowing steadily, uninterrupted. "I see that the river is constantly changing and yet always the same," said the young monk. "It flows day and night, never stopping, yet the waters themselves are always shifting and different." The old monk smiled, pleased with his student's insight. "The river reminds me of the passage of time, the constancy of change, the circling of life, the ups and downs we experience from day to day." He gestured to the boulders along the riverbank. "No 2 days are the same, the water takes a slightly different course each time. Yet through it all the river remains. Such is the nature of life." The young monk nodded in understanding. He knew he would return to the river often, to learn from the timeless message it had to teach.